Hello and welcome to everyone, guys. Vladimir, the Bulgarian Cowboy Vlad is speaking, and let's go with KSW. Just you got to give me a few seconds to get it underway. I have some things that I need to do soon, so yeah, the card is ahead of me, and I'm gonna go fight by fight, and I need to go with the best fight odds and their predictions. So need to take a look how everything's gonna be ranked and how is this gonna look in the first place. So, and I'll also have to tweet it out. 1 second, please. I have to tweet it out. Right, I will tweet right now. Just 1 second, please. Alright, I tweeted. So this is looking good on my end, this KSW predictions. And the way I'm seeing, this promises to be a good matchup, a good holiday of fights. And I'm really much looking forward to it. So let's go with Borys Burkowski versus Arkadiusz Kashuba. Borys Burkowski 3-1-0, 6 foot 175.2 inches, fighting out of Rzeszów in Poland. At his KSW debut, he lost to Marcinka Krakowiak, KSW 62. I remember that arm injury. He defeated some low-level guys at Gladiator Arena, Celtic Gladiator. Now meeting Arkadiusz Kashuba. Well, Arkadiusz Kashuba is 5'10", 72.4 inches, fighting out of Rzeszów, Poland. This guy holds back-to-back victories over some low-level names, and this is his KSW debut. Looking back at this line, really much Arkadiusz Kashuba is the favorite. So, yeah, ovaj vikend. Stosic na KSW, Denis. Šta misliš šta će biti? Denis se iskreno nadam da će da pobedi. To je ono što baš želim. Stošić mislim da dobije, boga mi Sekulić ima teškog protivnika. To teško. Hey Nile, how are you, man? So, za Sekulića nisam siguran. Borys Burkowski. Vidi, ovaj Šveđanin, on je dobar udarač, ali ako ga Denis ruši, tu nema više šta da se priča, tako da to je neka moje mišljenje. Let's see. Borys Burkowski versus Arkadiusz Kashuba. Arkadiusz to win for -163. No, I'm speaking Serbian. I can speak Serbian, Bulgarian, a bit of German, and I understand Spanish and of course English. So no, I don't speak Polish. Sorry, I don't understand Polish. Arkadiusz to win I like. Arkadiusz to win inside the distance. I can speak many languages now. So about UFC for now. For now, Makacho and Draki are my locks, but I'm just saying for now. So, for now, okay? Need to see how everything gonna go. Oskar Szczepaniak is going to fight Jan Liase. Well, Jan Liase is fighting out of Luxembourg. That's good, because I have never seen a fighter from Luxembourg. He lost to Magomed Magomedov at Brave CF, lost to Abbas Khan. I remember this guy, but I didn't know that the guy was coming out of Luxembourg. Defeated Javad Muftic. No, man, I've only seen that fight against Magomed Magomedov. Oskar Szczepaniak 200, 6 foot 72.4 inches. Jan Liase 5'11". I know nothing about this Polish guy. I would have to go with a blind pick. Let's say Szczepaniak to win. Yes. What are you asking? Did you take my pills or BLM knee? Knee. What is BLM knee? Sorry, I'm not sure I understand. Can you please retype? BLM knee. Can you retype, please? You're joking. Okay, fair enough. I didn't understand what you wrote, so yeah. Phillip versus David Smolovsky. Well, I think Phillip is having a very, very difficult opponent. Nitro, 15-6-2, 5'11", 72 inches of reach out of Zagreb. Losses back-to-back to Daniel Rudkovsky, Saladin Panas. He destroyed Sebastian Raevsky, but back then, Daniel Torres, Ron Szymanski, he was fighting very hard opponents and kicked off with a win against Philip Volansky, but David Smolovsky, 8'00", 6'1", 73.6 inches. He's longer. He's demolisher. This guy destroys everybody. He literally destroys everybody, every single promotion. Like, he comes out of Babylon MMA. So, how do I bet on KSW? No distance is my pick. I'm gonna tell you. There you can see this on this website. Yes, she is. Hold on, I'm gonna send you. You can. Which is this site? I'm sending you this site, so you see whether you have that bookie, Nile. In my state, you can go to a local bookie and ask for KSW odds. That's how it works at my state, but maybe in your state is different. So you see, check on this website. Maybe you have those bookies or booking websites. So check on this site. I don't know which websites function in your state. In my state, only Bet365 works, and of course, local betting sites like, for example, Mozart, Meridian. You have tons of them, but they are all like Serbian oriented. So I don't know which works in your state, but you can check on this website. So Philip Nitro page is on a very, very cold streak, and Smolovsky is hungry. That guy is hungry, man. Seen one of his fights, he literally destroyed the guy in the first round. He was bashing him for 5 minutes. An outstanding pressure guy. I don't know whether Page is going to have a good time with this guy. Unfortunately, I want Page to win, but I can't pick him up. I can't. I'm going to go with Smolovsky to win -163. No distance, Page versus Smolovsky. Second pick, third pick, Smolovsky to win inside the distance. I hope they are gonna release other odds later. I hope. Then we got Igor Mikheyev versus Leonel Padilla. Now this is a tricky fight. For me, this is very, very tricky fight. I know odds are gonna show that Igor Mikheyev is a very, very big favorite, but there is one problem with this. Now I'm gonna tell you which is the problem. Spanish fighters, they have improved over the last few years. You know that now we have Juan Espino, Chris Barnett in UFC. Earlier in the days, we didn't have many Spanish fighters, and everybody were bashing them, like 5'9", 70.5 inches of reach, Leonel Padilla. He fought at KSW where he lost to Adrian Bertosinski, but man, he gave Adrian Bertosinski a hard time. And that guy is now fighting at the co-main event of the evening. Why is Leonel Padilla such a heavy underdog? He defeated some good names. I mean, Hermes Franca, this is a former UFC name. Dragan Pešić, good fighter. All of them, I mean, he wasn't fighting bums. And that's why I don't understand why Igor Mikheyev is such a heavy favorite. 8'2", 5'11", 74.8 inches. Maybe because of that reach advantage, 4 inches of reach advantage on the side of Igor Mikheyev. But Mikheyev hasn't fought extremely big names. I mean, EFM, RWC. I would honestly stay away from this fight. I mean, if I really must pick a side, but only if I must pick a side. Kalishin to win for minus, but I'd stay away from this fight. Any Albanian prospects in kickboxing? Not that I know, but I have something you want. Next week in Brahim I fight, so you mustn't miss that one, man. That is your friend. Next weekend he is fighting, I think next week in Brahim is fighting. He is fighting Michelle Gilmore, and Brahima is, I think, heavy favorite. I think Brahima is heavy favorite. Yes, he is minus 365 for Amiz Brahima. He is super, super heavy favorite for that bout. I do believe this is a slam dunk for Brahima. If he loses that bout, he should never come into the UFC again. If he loses to this guy. I really believe this is a slam dunk for Brahima. I'm really much 100% sure this is a slam dunk for Brahima. I believe, Michelle Gilmore is his opponent. So I hope you're gonna watch your guy fighting. I think Brahima has very, very good chances to defeat this guy. And many of my fans are commenting that this is a mismatch. So it is. It is a mismatch. Heavy mismatch. But at least Brahima gonna bounce back. Recon, he wins, he lost his last fights in the UFC. A bit too much for him. Bellator would be good. Actually, I'm gonna tell you one thing. When we already talk about Brahima, he lost to Court McGee, and Court McGee hasn't been finished for 11 years. So Court McGee stylistically was very bad fight for Amiz Brahima, because Brahima is a good BJJ fighter and Court McGee is cage control fighter. And the fighter who drags you against the cage and mauls you on the ground. So that was a very, very bad matchup for Brahima. Gilmore is a good pick for Brahima. Very, very good pick. I think Gilmore is definitely going to be a good fight for Brahima. I don't see how Brahima could lose unless Gilmore hits him with a lucky punch, which is like 1 to 100 odds. I mean, a lucky punch to knock out Brahima, no way. The guy has a very brutally good chin. We've seen that in his last match. Max Payne Griffin was unable to knock him out, so I don't see how Gilmore knocks him out. Max Payne Griffin is one of the hardest hitters at welterweight, and he didn't knock him out. So compared to Max Payne Griffin, everybody hits very, very weakly. So next fight, Adam Soldaev versus Pascal Hintzen. Again, not an easy fight to pick, because Soldaev, heavy favorite, 5-1-0, lightweight fighter, comes out of EFM shows. He destroyed many fighters, including Emil Neziro, Piotr Kacprak, Slavomir Szczepanski, Stanislav Shakun. Pascal Hintzen, 7-0, is a featherweight, and the problem is the fact that Adam Soldaev is moving one division down. So you should be cautious when you're moving one division down. This guy at TMC defeated Fabio Souza, who is considered to be a good fighter, and also fought some guys with not the greatest score. The guy is a good BJJ fighter, very good on the ground, but Soldaev is a heck of a striker. So to me, Adam Soldaev versus Pascal Hintzen, not going the distance. If I must pick a side, then Soldaev. Arman Sarukian is fighting the Armenian. Actually, Arman Sarukian is out of Armenia. He is fighting this guy, Yoel Alvarez, the guy from Spain. Yoel Alvarez from Spain is fighting Arman Sarukian, who is out of Armenia. So this is also a hard fight. I was sleeping on Arman Sarukian earlier, but when I've seen what Yoel Alvarez did to Thiago Moises, I realized that he could be a very, very tricky match for everybody. And you know what irritated me? I was very much irritated by the fact that Yoel Alvarez is 6'3" and Arman Sarukian is, I believe, 5'9", 5'8", 5'10", something like that. Yoel Alvarez is going to have massive reach advantage. So I was sleeping heavily on Sarukian. I'm going to stay with Sarukian, but hard pick, man. Next, Shamil Banukaev versus Zuriko Jojo. Shamil Banukaev, 7'10", fighting out of Germany, 26 years of age, 5'7", trains in Düsseldorf. I've seen him in the fight against Davor Matic, easy KO, TKO victory. He showed great grappling skills, he showed great ground control. Zuriko Jojo is fighting out of Georgia, 7'10", bantamweight fighter, and 5'7". Also, from what I've seen, this fighter out of Tbilisi is mauling people out. He's extremely good on the ground, just like majority of Georgian fighters, and he's very, very much durable. Shamil Banukaev, as much as I've seen, is a slight underdog, which I agree because I believe this fight could go the distance. So let me see. Shamil Banukaev versus Zuriko Jojo. The fight will go the distance. Pick a side. Jojo to win because of his wrestling abilities. Young still beats John Jones. Yes, Young has very decent chances against John Jones, especially the now version of John Jones, because he is a heavyweight now. He changed a lot, so I think John Jones lost his desire to fight in this weight class anymore. So I doubt he will ever again fight at UFC 205 division. Now the next fight is Ivan Erslan versus Hassan Mejiev. Hassan Mejiev, 12-0, undefeated Latvian fighter. Yeah, this is a heavyweight combat, so this undefeated Latvian fighter is a heck of a kickboxer, and he is very good on the ground with chokes, but man, believe me, this guy lost to Magomed Ankalaev via decision. And this guy, Magomed Ankalaev, is now in the UFC. At amateur circuit, he lost to Magomed Ankalaev. Magomed barely defeated this guy. This guy defeats everybody. He literally destroys everybody in the row. He is a heck of a kickboxer with great BJJ skills. Now gonna meet Ivan Erslan, 6'2", 74.8 inches. Hassan Mejiev is a tough cookie, tough pick for him. Ivan Erslan defeated Luis Enrique da Silva at Armageddon 2. He defeated Przemysław Misiala, lost to Tomasz Narkun via rear naked choke, defeated Yusuf Khairovic, defeated Darwin Rodriguez, but he's a striker. This guy is brutal on the ground. So, this guy is brutal on the ground. Mejiev to win for +180. If Marku went to UFC Recon, he would have been a problem. Probably, yes, he has great boxing. He would have been just the same type of a fighter like Larissa Shields in PFL, so I do believe he could have been a problem, yes. Anyway, who is Marku fighting next? Who is his next opponent? What did they decide? After that spectacular victory over Maxim Prodan, I think they're going to give him very good opponent. So that win over Maxim Prodan was so spectacular. They were trading bombs for... They were non-stop trading bombs. Great match it was. I rewatched it 2 times, man. Awesome matchup. I was so scared to pick a side in that matchup, considering Prodan trains in Italy. Of course, Great Britain is better for boxing, but underestimating Prodan would have been a deadly mistake. All right, Hassan Mejiev, 12-0. In his last outing, he defeated Tamaz Zadishvili. Okay. Now we have reached the co-main event of the evening, and we got undefeated Adrian Bertosinski versus Andrzej Grzybic. Andrzej Grzybic, 18-4-0. This guy is fighting, this is 6'0" fighter, 76 inches of reach, welterweight fighter fighting out of Tarnow, Poland, a great kickboxer who knocked out Mariusz Żaromskis, but priorly broke his leg against Mariusz Żaromskis in 2020. He also destroyed Tomasz Jakubiec. This is one of the best punchers and finishers we've seen in KSW. This guy is trying to finish people by any means necessary. And it's very hard to finish him via submission. Alessio Di Chirico barely defeated him via unanimous decision. But interestingly, there was a guy who gave him a problem, and that's one of the guys who competes at this circuit. Can you believe it? So Adrian Bertosinski on the other side, 11-0, 5'11", 71.7 inches of reach. Andrei Bertosinski is going to have to deal with 4-inch reach advantage, but Bertosinski fighting out of Rava, Mazowiecka, Poland. He destroyed Michal Michalski, and he was having a hard time against Leonel Padilla, who is now a super heavy underdog. But he's riding on 2 back-to-back wins over great Michal Michalski, great grappler, great ground fighter, and he barely won Leonel Padilla. Andrzej Grzybic might pull out an upset only if he drags the fight to the ground and pounds his opponent out on the other side. I do believe that Bertosinski can parry him on the feet if the fight stays close range. If the fight remains long range, then Grzybic gonna have the advantage. So let me see. Andrzej Grzybic versus Adrian Bertosinski. Not going the distance. That is pick number 1. If I must pick a side, Bertosinski. But I'm not confident. Yeah, Bertosinski if I must pick a side, but I'm not confident at all about this pick, as there might be some different things coming up behind it, and I want to tell you that there are some different expectations out of this match. These two sides are expecting that. These two sides are actually expecting that Bertosinski gonna win easily, but me, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I have a tricky bad feeling about this one. I think this is gonna be a victory for Bertosinski, but I would gladly stay away from picking a side. Adrian Bronner is still a good boxer, even dropped Sean Porter. Yes, Bronner is good, very good. I do agree that Adrian Bronner is pretty much good. And when it comes to boxing, I think actually that Cambozos is extremely good. These are my thoughts. I do believe that Christian Cambozos might actually pulls many upsets out in the years to come, especially after that victory over Teofimo Lopez. Now, Phil de Vries versus Darkos Tosic is going to be our next fight. Phil de Vries is the current champion, 26-0, heavyweight fighter, 6'4", 79 inches of reach, fighting out of Sunderland, England. The guy destroyed Luis Enrique, Michal Kita, Tomasz Nerkun. On 2 occasions, he was better than Karl Bedorf, than Michal Andruszczak. In Bellator, he destroyed James Thompson. He was fighting in every single promotion, even been on the UFC roster, where he destroyed Rob Broughton and Ollie Thompson, and lost to Stipe Miocic, to Duffy and Matt Mitrione. Later, he was released. He also fought in Japan. Darkos Tosic was also a former UFC name. He destroyed Jeremy Kimball, then suffered 3 back-to-back decision losses to Devon Clark, Kennedy Zechukwu, and Jamahul Hill. But upon arrival into KSW, he continued competing at heavyweight and destroyed Michal Vodarek, Michal Kita, and outworked Michal Andruszczak in a very close battle. So the bout against Phil de Vries is expected to be a hard one, but I believe that Stosic is way stronger on the ground, and Stosic doesn't have to cut weight anymore, which speaks about his great ability. This judoka is extremely good if he drags you to the ground and controls you back there. But from what I've seen, Darkos Tosic exposed some holes in the stand-up game. I believe he is better in the stand-up right now, but his kickboxing was not on point, especially in that fight against Zechukwu. So I hope he improved it. I hope he's not going to try kicks anymore. He's going to stick to punches. And for this fight, I'm picking Darkos Tosic for the victory. Darkos Tosic to win for minus 3-0. Stosic via KO, TKO to win. Or Stosic inside the distance. There is no way Stosic going to get submitted, because he has great anti-grappling skills, and his anti-grappling skills are really much on point these days. I must confess that Darkos Tosic made a lot of improvements and that he made a lot of changes in his game, especially after that fight against Kennedy Zechukwu, and he's not looking half dead after those weight cuts, just like it used to be in UFC. In UFC, Stosic was dealing majority of problems because of his brutal weight cuts, and when you cut so much weight, it's always tricky one for you. As when you cut too many pounds, you become slow, you become tired, and his skills, his defensive skills were definitely not on point. So that kind of irritated me when I was watching Darkos Tosic, but. I mean, it is what it is. I must say that there are some things when you can't affect it. So Stosic was kind of unable to show his full potential in the UFC roster because of his brutal weight cut, and that weight cut was not something we like to see, especially me in the first place. I believe he would have had a better career at UFC if he chose that path, but he chose to fight at light heavyweight, and those weight cuts were leaving a serious consequence on him, and that's one of the reasons why he suffered 3 decision losses. Also against Kennedy Zechukwu, he won all the rounds, but when you hit your opponent to the nuts, I mean, you know how it's gonna be. When you hit your opponent to the nuts, you can't. You can't do well, and the judges did a great job by judging that fight. So I believe in heavyweight that Darko Stosic was having 1-3 in light heavyweight, but heavyweight is his weight class. He's riding on a score of 15-0. Phillip might be a stronger fighter. Some people say that the guy is on steroids, but I'm saying that Phillip is a talented guy, and I believe Phillip offers a lot of talent. And that's going to be tricky for Darko Stosic unless he drags the fight to the ground. But I believe Stosic has what it takes. I believe in Stosic's power and ability to outwork his opponent and to teach him a lesson, especially in this bout. So I'm like, if I must make a 3-leg parlay, I'm gonna do it right now. 3-leg parlay. Stosic to win. I'm making 3-leg parlay now. Let me see who else. No, I'm picking against Arslan. Stosic to win. Soldier to win. And Smolovsky to win. Stosic to win -300. Soldier to win -400. And Smolovsky to win -163. That would be 3-leg parlay to go. And do I have a round robin idea? Let me see, did I pick the underdog? Yes, I picked Bertosinski. Yeah, I picked Bertosinski, so round robin, Bertosinski, Mikheyev. Bertosinski, Mikheyev, and I need one more for round robin. Bertosinski, Mikheyev, high risk. Yeah, you need high risk for round robin. Gonna go with Padilla. I mean, when you go with round robin, you always go for high risk. So Bertosinski, he's an underdog. Yes, +163. +163. Mikheyev +180. And Padilla +3. When you go for the underdog, you always go for high odds, and that's what you go for round robin with this KSW. I like three parlay round robin. I mean, you can play as many round robins as you want, but these round robins are like something I would try to play if I was back there. That's something that would give me wings to continue. KSW on the other side, it kind of sucks. Even at my local bookie, you can just pick a side, but I hope at the other American bookies that you can play different odds, which is something that gives me wings around here. Oh, that's pretty much something that gives me wings around here. Like you should play very much of a different legs and parlays, and like picking the fight goes the distance, etc. I hope the odds are gonna be unlocked. Hold on, just type. Then I just have to announce that this KSW card. Mm, yeah. Oh, sorry. What? Stosic is an underdog? Oh, I didn't know. Hold on. Stosic to win. Stosic to win for +2. I haven't seen it correctly. So, round robin, another type would be Bertosinski +163. Mikheyev +180, and Stosic +200. I haven't seen that. I was thinking that Stosic is the favorite. He is an underdog against Phil de Vries. But I don't see Phil de Vries as a guy who could finish him. Only if the fight goes the distance, we might see a problem. But I actually think Phil de Vries is a good opponent for Darkos Stosic. Haven't seen that Stosic is an underdog. Another round robin. So I really haven't seen it well. I've seen it kind of differently. So you can ask me whatever you want now. I'm open for conversation, for discussion with fans. Bellator gonna probably discuss on Thursday as odds haven't been released yet. I don't know when we will see the odds for Bellator event, but maybe we're gonna see it soon. God knows when. Like for this KSW event, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 9 bouts are slated for now. Yeah, only 9 bouts are slated for now, which kind of sucks. This really much kind of sucks. Also for this one FC, circuit. Yeah, this main card looks pretty much great. Like we got kickboxing, we got Muay Thai. Gonna be a fun weekend to watch, definitely. Stoshic do not have big chance. Octagon 31. I don't follow Octagon. I don't follow Octagon. I don't have possibility to follow it. I don't even know who is fighting. Do you know more about Octagon? I mean, I can take a look. Let me see. Oh, I don't know a single name, man. Patrick Kinsel is fighting. I would probably say Patrick Kinsel to win. He's the only guy I know. And I know Alex Lahore. These are only two guys I know. I don't follow much. Vlasto Chepo, no, I don't like that guy. I would say Vlasto Chepo to lose and Patrick Kinsel to win. These are only two guys. Lucia Pudilova fighting Priscilla de Souza. I'm telling from the guys I know. You're asking me for Octagon 31. Pudilova. Hmm. I only know their fighting styles and their opponents. I don't know other opponents. Don't know other fighters, so I would have to say, like, don't know other guys, so from what Uchia Padilla, Priscilla de Souza is not on her level, she is better. Don't know other guys, unfortunately. I would like to say that I know them, but I know nothing on them, so that's the only one I know. Yeah, basically the only one I know is those ones. Martin Zavada, new fighter of Octagon. Really? I've heard of that guy. I've just heard, never watched his fights, but I've heard of Martin Zavada, so maybe this could be a good way to go. Who knows? I've heard of the guy, but in Octagon, we don't have the possibility to watch Octagon live. Yes, I know he's David Zavada's brother. I've heard some rumors, but we don't have the possibility to watch Octagon live here, so our sports channels don't cover it. We can watch Bellator, we can watch UFC. You can buy KSW to watch. You can buy ONE FC, for example, someone else. From time to time it airs. PFL you can watch, it airs on our sports channel, so we are pretty much well covered, and you can also purchase Fight Pass to watch some other events, like for example UFC prelims or some grappling events like Cage Fury, also Cage Warriors airs on sports channel, so we are kind of well covered, but nobody covers Octagon MMA here, which kind of sucks, because I do believe Octagon MMA is a good promotion to watch. I really do believe that Octagon is a good promotion to watch. The safest picks on next UFC, well, let's say Makhachev and Brahimaj for now, but I haven't done tape study. I'm doing tape study on the UFC tomorrow, so as long as I don't do it, I would still be, on and off with those picks. I need to analyze all fights. I need to open tomorrow UFC on Fight Pass and to check a bit more about the fighters, their shows, and I need to see what could be the holes, what could be the openings, the problems. I usually analyze it for 2-3 hours. I open UFC on Fight Pass, turn off phones and everything, and then I analyze. And I haven't done it yet. I didn't have time today. Tomorrow I will have time to do that. So tomorrow in the evening I will probably do that kind of the analysis, and we'll let you know. I hope to be around the same time, live or maybe a bit earlier. But I will say everything. And of course, I will watch the weigh-in, then I'll follow Bellator, then I'm gonna go with my show last minute picks and predictions. Hope it's gonna do well. I think. Hope it's gonna do well. For now, only two of them should be, let's say, fair picks. But if you want to gamble, there is no safe pick. There is only just bigger and smaller probability, which is okay. Which is okay. Pretty much okay to me, at least in the first place. I'm hoping that we are going to see some really, really good matches coming up, and I want to see something big recently. I'd really like to see something big. I'd really like to see some upsets, and I'd like to see some good stuff coming up. And those good stuffs. Please, this upcoming UFC card, many people gonna say that it doesn't have the maximum power, but I don't share their greed, Especially, I don't share their greed because I can find some very, very challenging battles here. For example, one of challenging battles that I'm finding here on this UFC fight card is undoubtedly the bout between Yoel Alvarez and Arman Sarukian. That's gonna be a banger. Also, Armen Petrosyan versus Gregory Rodriguez gonna be a banger. Ignacio Bahamondes, Rong Zhu, two great strikers. Josian Nunes versus Ramona Pascual, great fight. Terence McKinney, knockout artist against Farid Ziam. These are all fights I'm pretty much looking forward. Victor Altamirano, Carlos Hernandez, gas tanks, the fight of gas tanks. Ramis Brahimaj gets a chance to showcase his BJJ skills against Michelle Gilmore. Ji-Young Kim might get back into the winning column against Priscilla Cachoeira. Cirkunov Turma, I'm not looking forward to that fight. That one probably gonna be boring. When will you do meeting with your fans? You think meeting in live? Well, I live in Serbia, so if my fans, it's not that like COVID restrictions. It is I'm not like now. Now I don't travel much, but if my fans are sometimes eager to come to Serbia, I would very gladly do something. Or if somebody pays me to travel somewhere, because I'm not a rich boy. If that's I have enough money to survive, and that's it. But I do go to Bulgaria to meet up with fans from time to time. But if somebody pays me, for example, to travel to UK or USA, I would make a meeting with fans. That's not a problem. I mean, why not? I would like to meet majority of my fans in person. Why not? It's okay. It's okay to me because those are people who are on my voyage with over a year and a half, and there are many high quality people back there. Many of people are also saying that they don't have lives, so I think that could be highly beneficial for both sides. And tomorrow I must do some job. I must drive to the other end of my state, so technically, I don't know when will I do UFC predictions, but I do believe maybe 2 3 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, I live in Serbia. Yes, I do live in Serbia. But I travel to Bulgaria every year to meet up with fans and to meet up with old friends. And yes, I live in the capital of Serbia, in Belgrade. That's the place where I live. So I'm okay with that. It's not that bad. Just maybe people don't understand me much, but I love Serbia as a state. Serbia is pretty much a pretty state. Pretty much pretty state. There are many lovely things to see, but in Bulgaria it's totally different. I get very much a lot respect in Bulgaria. People respect me a lot, and here is like people still live in communism era, like 20 years ago. They still, I mean, girls, they want you to have state job, and that's it. They're very much, how to say, they're very much narrow-minded, and that's something that kind of irritates me. I'm more like American oriented. Greetings from Krakow. Oh, really? You live in Krakow? I've been in Krakow like 10 years ago. I was just transitioning through Krakow when we were traveling to some taekwondo competition. That taekwondo competition was taking place in Trelleborg, Sweden, but we were transitioning through Krakow. I remember that we were passing through Krakow with the bus. I've only seen it from the bus a bit, and that's all. We were stopping in Krakow. That's what I remember, but it was 10 years ago. Well, Poland looks like a really nice place to me, at least. Looks like a very nice place because we were picking some Polish guys that were going with us in Trelleborg. So yeah, we stopped by for like 5 minutes. That's all I remember from Krakow. But it was 10 years ago. I got to say, it looked like a nice city, but if I spent a bit more time there, that would be awesome. Being only once to Poland, that was one way, like when I was transitioning. People are saying that Poland is a very lovely state. That's how people say, but never stayed for a longer time. Never stayed for a longer time there, so I don't know how it is. I've just heard stories, heard rumors, but I guess it's nice. Every state is nice in its own way. Some I've heard it like see you next time. Good night, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm also going to sleep right now as I have a lot of obligations. Tomorrow I do have to make some additional predictions, and there are some changes and some articles that I must finish. So right now I will go to sleep and. Tomorrow I'm breaking down UFC. I will inform you about the time. So let's expect something around 2 3 p.m. Something like that would work. And I'm already getting very sleepy as no, this is the end of my strength. I'm already getting very sleepy. I woke up very much like around 7 a.m., went to sleep around 11, 12. Previous night didn't sleep, so I really need to get some sleep. And catch you later, guys. Thank you so much for the support. It's highly appreciated from you. Means a lot to me. And see you all next time, guys. Night, night.